Okay, this is timing strategies for Tuesday, January 10th, 2008. So far, so good. With our most recent video post, we were having technical difficulties. Hopefully this one moves through smoothly as well. Give us a call or check us out at timingstrategies.com. timingstrategies.com. You can send us an email if you have any questions. Short, sweet, to the point. If you check out our article, we're looking for potentially a buy right around here at the 1340, 1350 level. I don't like how we're seeing the price action. I wanted to see that move down yesterday, not just get close to it like we are today, and then not so fast. So I have my suspicions. We've got a short position on that was 80% from here back on the 20th, or the 19th, excuse me, of May. Took half of that off on the 23rd. We still have a 40% short position here in a basket of indices, you know, the Russell, the Dow, the S&P, and the NASDAQ. Ultimately, I'm anticipating this level, the 1280 level, to get hit, and possibly, and actually more likely in my anticipation, this 1230 level, 123 on the spiders. But, you know, that remains to be seen. There's a lot of mischief going on by the Fed and the Treasury. Heard Hank Paulson come out today and say, oh, the rise in oil has nothing to do with the destruction and devaluation of your dollar and our U.S. dollar. I don't know how that guy can, say that with a straight face or get away with it, or I don't know. It defies logic. Anyway, we did have this mapped out earlier in the year as far as our kill zone. We were looking to get short. It hit our minimum kill zone target at 1420. Who knows? We could still see, 1500 on the S&P, 1520. Doesn't look like it so far. Let me get to the GDX, because I know a lot of people like gold out there. All right, the GDX took a big hit today. We got long here. We got flat right there. God, that works so beautifully. I wish I could do that every time. That's in our RightX accounts. Ultimately, I'm looking for, on the GDX, for the XAU, the gold window, about 38 bucks. But we may be putting in a short-term cycle low right in here at about, call it about 44, 43 half. So we'll see. We may be long. The GLD, everybody loves GLD. Get rid of some of this junk. The GLD is kind of in a conundrum. I ultimately think we're going to see prices on the GLD come down to about 820. That would be 85, so that'd be about 82 on the GLD, to as deep as, and possibly as low as, right around here about the 730 level. I know people will hear that and go, oh, you can't get that. No, well, it's possible. I got a price tag of as deep as 730 on the GLD. Where are we at? Right about there, 7250. So right around there, for a lot of reasons, and that's a long way off. But if it gets there, let me tell you, the upper trend line in this market, it's still there. It's not broken. If this, depending on how fast it gets there, but that price tag that we've got on the GLD, that I got on the GLD, as deep as 73, 74, that would still maintain the uptrend line, and that would be a gift. As low as, on the short end, which comes into right about there, about 72. But the regression channel that I'm looking at and working with right now kind of comes in right here at about 80, 82. So that'd be about 820 on the gold, on the futures contract. What else? QQQs. Oh, and I'll get to the XLF too. Qs, I think this thing is ready to fall. We might get a little more noise here over the next couple of days. As far out as the first, second week of July, because we got the end of the quarter here. This market's not collapsing. I thought we'd get a little bit more of a sell-off. Sometime this week, yesterday. We're not getting it. I'm very leery of the end of the quarter, June 30th, of this market getting jammed back up one more time, and everybody thinking Goldilocks is, the prom queen. So that's why we don't have a full short position. But after June 30th, second week of July, if you look at the S&P using the spiders, if this market goes back up to that 1420 or any higher after the second, third week of July, man, get ready to load the torpedoes, because it's just It's just short term being pushed because of an election. That's my opinion. There is no Goldilocks. Goldilocks is a transvestite prostitute named Baldilocks. XLF. What's happening here? Well, I think, and again, my estimates are short term. We could see one more down day on this XLF. Wipe out these lows that we've got in here on the XLF at about 22 and then trade back above them. I will be getting long at that point. Some of the bank stocks I'm looking at, like Bank of America, same thing. If we can wipe out that low one more time, I got a low on as deep as $26 on Bank of America. If we get Bank of America at 26 bucks, right around that level, 26.50, I'll be a big buyer. Another one I'm looking at is Citigroup, and that's a little stronger than the rest of the market. If Citigroup can wash out these lows, then we'll be looking at getting long from some point. Last one I want to talk about and why is the BKX. BKX is putting in a low. I got it as deep as on the BKX about 62 to 61. I'll call it just 62. It could hit as deep as 61, but I got 62. If the 61 half, 62. If the BKX can hit that level, I'm an aggressive buyer on the bank stocks, the XLF, and everything as deep as that. That would be the flush that we're looking for. If we can get that in the next day or two or three, short term, on a big move in volume, that's where we want to buy. One last one I want to bring in is the EEM. Emerging markets, baby, get out of the way, because the party I believe is over. In the emerging markets and all, the ETFs like Brazil. I'm short the EEM using the emerging markets ETF EEV, and also the FXI using the FXP. Beautiful stuff, FXP. Next one, EEV. Sweetness doesn't get much better than that for now. Don't want to count too many chickens because anything can happen. But looking at the EEM, anybody who's got a lot of emerging markets exposure, buying into that global expansion, everything just goes up overseas because they're doing it right. Yeah, eventually the emerging markets are going to be the place to be again. But for now, I don't think that, I think the party's pretty much out. Just give you a real quick look at, where we might consider covering that short. Right here on the EEM, as deep as 133 to 135, but that's something to look at if you have any exposure. Well, I'm going to see how this posts, and hopefully we're up and flying again. Please give us a call or send us an email. I wish you the best, and this is Timing Strategies for Tuesday, June 10th.